Really, really great to see everybody. And today we're actually going to dive deep into AI. So, how you are going to be able to use AI in 2026. Galel, you want to share your screen and you can go through the slides there. That'd be awesome. We're going to get
Absolutely.
rocking and rolling here. So, Coach Galel is from my team. He is our AI master. He is obsessed with it, and he is going to show you how to thrive in 2026, cut through all the noise that is out there. You probably heard a lot of things going on about AI, how to use it, whether or not to use it, and we're going to show you how to do that. So we have Kevin in Lima, Peru. That's awesome. I have a good friend, Renzo, down in Lima, Peru. We have Christopher in Yelm, Washington. Cornelius is in Almer, Ontario. That's awesome, near where I grew up. We have Rakeen from Bangladesh and Christian from West Virginia. That is great. Awesome to see us reaching everybody from all over the world. So you want to hit present mode there, Golel?
Yep. So do you see my screen right now? Do you
I
see
do,
what?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. Great. So we are good to go. And Craig, if I move the slide, you see that as well?
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Everything's rocking and rolling here. As Craig said, I'm Coach Galel. I'm on the team here at Early to Rise. You're going to have questions during this presentation. We want your questions. We welcome questions. Craig and I live off of the questions that our clients give us. Okay. So the goal here is for you to leave with a plan so you know what it is that you have to master about AI going into 2026. All right. Now, one of the things I need to make very clear for everybody is that this is not a tech, like a conversation about cool technology. Okay. What this is about it's a conversation about your time, your energy, your revenue, and it's about your ability to keep up with people who are already using AI right now to run circles around entrepreneurs who still insist on doing things the hard way. So my goal over the next little bit that we're together is very simple. I want you to walk out of here with absolute clarity on what you actually need to master with AI, what you can ignore, and then give you a simple plan to be able to plug this into your business without getting overwhelmed. All right, sound good, everybody?
Sounds good.
Now, why this training matters for everybody, okay? Right now, you are no longer competing with other entrepreneurs. You are competing with those entrepreneurs who know how to weaponize AI. All right. Now, what these entrepreneurs are doing is they're using AI to buy back their time, outcreate you on every single platform, and they're moving at 3 times your speed while working fewer hours. And how do I know this? Is because I'm currently coaching a lot of these people inside of Early to Rise, right? And so, one of the things that I want you to be thinking about as we talk about this today is if you are still right now doing everything by hand or trying to willpower your way through content or operations or decision making, this is playing an absolutely losing game. That's why this training matters for you today. I want you on the right side of the divide. So, here's what you're going to walk away with today. First, the 3 AI skills that you have to master in 2026 in order to stay relevant and stay profitable. So, if you focus on these 3 skills, what you're going to be able to do is be able to stay ahead of a lot of the business owners who right now, like there are people out there, they're just dabbling with AI, right? They're just dabbling. They're using AI like it's a glorified Google search, right? Or they're putting in like they're just not using it to the extent that you can actually use it for. The second thing is I'm going to show you how to turn AI from a random chat bot that you open once in a while, right, into a repeatable system that handles content, follow up, and helps you out with operations. Now, I want you to think, right? Less chaos in your brain, right? More structure in your business. The third thing you're going to walk away with is a simple 30-day roadmap so that you can actually plug this into your business and be able to reclaim real hours each week instead of disappearing into just more random tools, more tutorials, and just more confusion. So if that sounds good for everybody, type me yes in the chat if this sounds good. And if this doesn't sound good, no worries. Nobody's holding you hostage. But if this sounds good, awesome. Let's get rolling into the new game of entrepreneurship. So, for all of you who are here, we need to get something very straight. We need to understand this right now. And by the way, I have to stop for a second. It's really great to see some familiar faces in here. Lorraine, great to see you here. Tracy, great to see you. And many of you who are new friends. So it's great to see these familiar faces that are on here. So let's get something straight. John's asking if the recording will be made available after. I believe it will be. Craig usually is quite generous about that, so it should be available. Yes, Craig himself has answered. Yes, it will be available. So let's get something very straight about AI. AI is now part of your job description as a founder. Like full stop. Like it's part of your job description now. Just like all of us who have businesses, we had to learn basic finance, we had to learn marketing, we had to learn sales in order to grow and scale our business. You now need to have a fundamental working understanding of how AI fits into your workflows. So what I'm not saying is that you have to become a developer, right? You don't need to build apps. But what you do need to understand is where AI can think with you, build with you, and remove repetitive work from your plate. And if you ignore this, you are handing your competitive advantage to somebody else, right? So this is part of your job description as a founder. Now, what we're going to work on here is kind of a mindset shift. So I need to prepare you for this. All right. A lot of entrepreneurs are AI dabblers right now. So what that means is they'll open up Chat GPT, they'll type in a random question, they'll scroll for a minute, and then go right back to their old habits. That identity will not survive the next few years. At the rate that technology is moving, at the rate that other people are adopting AI, that identity is not going to survive. So the identity that I want you to adopt, again, this is a mindset shift. And if you give me your permission, I'm going to coach you right now. Okay. So this is like what it would be like if we're on a coaching call together, right? Is I want you to have a mindset shift. The identity that I want you to adopt is I am an AI powered operator. Now, what that means is you use and you see AI as part of how you think, how you plan, how you make decisions, and how you delegate. You are not just somebody who reacts to their day. What you're doing is you're designing systems that run without you being inside of every single little step. So what I want you to do right now is take 10 seconds and silently finish this in your head. Now, you're welcome to type it in the chat if you want, but I'm not going to put everybody on the spot, but you're welcome to. Take 10 seconds, finish this sentence. In 2026, I am the kind of entrepreneur who uses AI to blank and make it specific, right? In 2026, I'm the kind of entrepreneur who uses AI to blank. Be specific. That sentence is going to guide everything we cover today. Craig just answered, create 10x more content. I love that. Fit Pro Mike says, generate and nurture leads. By the way, I have to add, Craig talking about creating 10x more content is a fact. I'm watching him do it right now. He's got a huge goal of creating 750 reels in 2026. Massive amounts of content, taking huge action, leading by example. Jeffrey talks about, let's see, we got Eric talking about to delegate more. Jeffrey, generate new leads and referral partners. Tracy, streamline all initial client proposals. Olga, review tax returns and create tax plans. Eric, 10x execution. Holly, create products specifically for my customers. Gabor, create content. Carl, good to see you, Carl. Reduce workflow, reduce 10 hours weekly minimum. Lorraine, manage all my social media content, create clips of my podcast. I love this. I love the specificity. You have made me a very proud coach already, and we're just a few minutes in. I absolutely love this. Ty talking about create systems and reduce workloads. Beautiful. So, with that in mind, and for those of you who didn't answer, that's totally fine, but you're going to get some inspiration and some ideas from seeing what people are saying here. So, what I want you to do now is you could be somebody who's like, I'm overwhelmed. There's a lot of things. Let's figure out, let's find some area that we can focus on here for 2026. That's going to guide this conversation today. So, let's dive into it here. All right. So, pillar number one. First pillar is one that I've already just spoken about, and that is mindset. If you get this wrong, none of these tactics that I talk about today are going to stick. So, mindset is so important. I mean, it's so important that we have a coach on our team whose specialty is mindset. Coach Gavin McHale. If you're not following him, follow him on Instagram. Craig shares a lot of his stuff on Craig's IG. Mindset is essential, right? Those people that win have a bulletproof mindset. And so if you get this wrong, none of this is going to stick today. So understand this. AI is not here to replace your brain. It is here simply to amplify it, to extend your thinking, give you more options, take repetitive work off of your hands. Now, when you treat AI as a threat, like some people do, what's going to happen is you're going to resist it. But when you treat it like, now we look at AI and we think it's artificial intelligence, right? No, I look at it as amplified intelligence. Amplified intelligence, an extension of your thinking. So when you treat it as amplified intelligence that works for you, you're going to start looking for ways to plug it into your day, right? So AI is amplified intelligence. You got to look at it with that positive mindset versus thinking of it as a threat. Now, here's some beliefs, okay? I've been very blessed to coach many, many people. I mean, it's now, I think, in the hundreds of people that I've been able to coach through my career. And over the last few years, as AI has become a lot more mainstream, there's three consistent beliefs that I tend to find that keep people stuck when it comes to AI. Number one, I'm already behind. I'm already behind. So then they feel ashamed and then they keep avoiding it. That's no good. We don't want to let that limiting belief stop us. Limiting belief number two, I need to understand everything before I use anything. So then people wait and they wait and they wait. We don't want that either. Belief number three is if I learn AI, I'm just going to create more work for myself. So what happens is they stay in their comfortable chaos and they never build real systems. So what I want you to do is if you fall into one of those three camps, don't be ashamed, recognize it, right? It's like shining a flashlight. Like one of the things that as a coach that I like to do is I like to use my own life as an example. And there's been so many times in my life where I've like been ashamed of stuff. I've hidden from like the reality, right? And just I think a good coach takes a flashlight and shines the light in those dark areas. And you kind of go, yeah, I have this dark part of my life, and that's okay. We're just bringing it to light. And then once it's up in the light, we can go and we can figure out what we do next, right? And so that's what I want to do right now is so Eric shares belief number two. Great. That's great. Now we understand that limiting belief. I want you to figure out which one of these hits you the hardest because that belief, it's costing you something. There's a price that you're paying for that belief. And we all pay a price for something, right? And so that belief likely is costing you time. It's likely costing you money and costing you peace of mind. So we want to try to upgrade your mindset going into 2026. So here's what that mindset upgrade is. First, I learn AI through small, fast experiments, right? So you don't need to have this perfect strategy. What you need are reps, practical experience, build some momentum, just tiny, quick wins. Number two, my job is to design workflows and decisions, right? Not to do every task manually. So you are the architect. You are not the assembly line worker. Very important distinction here. You're the architect. Third, AI is how I buy back my time and protect my energy. So if you are burned out, AI is not another project. AI is the way to reduce the noise and get support for yourself. And once these beliefs are locked in, then the mechanics of actually executing this start to feel exciting instead of overwhelming. Can everybody see how when you adopt these mindset shifts, how it just becomes so much easier to look at learning through small experiments, focusing on these workflows, not these tricks, and looking at it as a way to buy back time and energy? Does that make sense? Drop a yes in the chat if you're following here. If you're willing to accept this mindset upgrade going into this next year. Outstanding. Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's dive into pillar number 2 then. Since we got people on board with this, let's look at pillar number 2. Pillar number 2 is the mechanics, right? Now, this I'm going to warn you is where many people get distracted. Now, what I mean by that is they collect AI prompts like they're baseball cards, right? You can see on my desk or my bookshelf, I got all these baseballs. I love baseball cards. I used to collect them as a kid. Thought it was going to make me, I was going to be able to retire on it, and then I didn't. But I still like baseball cards, right? And when you collect baseball cards, you just loading up albums full of them, and you show them off to everybody. And I see people, business owners, who are like, Galel, check out these prompts I've got, and they're just showing me Notion template after Notion template with tons of AI prompts. That's not what we want, right? Just having screenshots and Notion pages of all these cool prompts that they never get used consistently. Then you're just a prompt collector. Now, prompts do matter, but prompts are just ingredients. What you need are the recipes. Okay, so prompts are the ingredients. We need recipes, which are repeatable workflows. These are systems that you can run daily or weekly to help you save time and produce high quality work. So when I say mechanics, I'm talking about just building a handful of simple AI workflows that you can just use over and over and over again, not these just one-off tricks, right? So that's how I want you to look at this. So let's look. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy says, nice analogy. Thank you. Workflow number 1. This is how I love using AI, because if this is maybe your first exposure to me, I have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And with ADHD, I need external processes to keep me on track. Otherwise, it feels like my brain tries to do some self-sabotage, right? And so this is how I love to use it. And so that's why I chose it as workflow 1 for here. That is as a thinking assistant. So if you're a business owner, this is going to help you. If you're a business owner with ADHD, like many of us do have, this is going to help you as well. And I think it's arguable that a lot of people have a touch of ADHD nowadays with technology, but that's a different subject for a different time. So this right here is where you use AI to help you think more clearly and faster. So what you're going to do, and this is what I love it for, right, is that you can feed it messy information. And then you ask it to outline, summarize, and build decision trees. So for example, let's say you've got this 30-page report, right? And you're like, oh gosh, I have to read this whole thing, and then I got to like figure out and break this stuff down. It's like I'm in school again, right? Instead of just staring at this thing, getting stressed out about it, you take the 30-page report, you paste it in, or you upload it into your AI tool. You ask for a 1-page brief with the key risks, opportunities, and recommended next steps, right? I mean, you've taken something that would normally take you a whole load of time and you've shrink it down, right? One of the things Craig and I like to do is take long podcasts, get them transcribed, turn them into 15 bullet points, right? Now I don't have to listen to a 3-hour podcast, right? Boil down the information. If I want to listen to it for fun, I can. But if I just want to extract the information, I can just summarize it with AI. It's fantastic. And so you can also have it map pros and cons on a big decision, right? So I'll go a little bit off script here. One of the things I've been sharing with our coaching clients lately has been the fact that AI tends to be very agreeable with you. Like it'll just agree with you. Like, oh yes, Ed, that's a great idea. Yes, Christian, this is an excellent idea. Like, well done, Christian, right? And I see you guys smiling like you guys have had this experience. And so now what I will do to use AI as my thinking assistant is I tell it to take an opposing point of view. I tell it to argue against me. I tell it to explain to me, find a way to prove me incorrect on my beliefs versus trying to make me feel good and pump me up on the right decision. That helps me lock in decisions so much better when I have it argue against me and play devil's advocate. So this is a great way of using AI as a thinking assistant. So you can just see the holes in your arguments, right? And so again, mapping the pros and cons on a big decision, turning these scattered notes into a simple plan, this stops you from just mentally circling the same problems over and over and over again. I see Chris he says, I use a system prompt to do exactly that. I love it. I love it. Perfect. Now let's look at workflow two. This is the kind of like, I don't know, like more spicy stuff that I really like, especially when we're talking about content, right? Craig's going to 10x the amount of content he's creating. I'm making a heck of a lot more content than I've ever made, right? And this is how we're doing it, right? So workflow number two is your content and communication engine. So most of you here, you're sitting on these fantastic ideas. The problem is that you don't have necessarily the time or the energy to turn them into consistent content across multiple platforms. So here's the shift that I want to encourage you to adopt. Instead of starting from scratch every single time, what I want you to do is create one core piece of content, like a video, a voice note, a long form post. And then what you do is you're going to take AI, turn that into an email, a reel script, a carousel outline, and a LinkedIn post. So it's the same message, the same story, just in multiple formats. And so AI then helps you stay everywhere that your clients are without you spending all day sitting there writing, right? How many of you are currently doing that right now? Type it in the chat. Let me know. Are you currently taking one piece, turning it into 5 different? Brian, I love it. Tracy says, I use it for full on brain dump so I can free flow my thoughts after a meeting and it organizes my chaos. Blair, you bet. Awesome. Love it. So this is something that I absolutely love doing, where we will take one topic and I will tell Craig, hey, Craig, this YouTube video is popping off. This one's doing really well. And we'll turn that one YouTube video into multiple other Instagram reels that we can then outline from there because we know that this subject is working well with our audience. And so we'll just take that one and turn it into 5 other ones. Right? So this is what top performers are doing right now. This is how they're able to do it, is because they are prioritizing taking one message and turning it into 5 different ones, 10 different ones. Now, workflow number 3. This is the offer and funnel engineer. So this is where AI helps you pressure test your ideas before you spend a ton of time and money on them. Okay, so what you can do here is you can ask AI to act like your ideal client. So let me just pause for a second here, okay, and make sure that all of you know how to create do you know who your ideal client is? Do you have a profile of your ideal client? And then with that ideal client, does AI know who that is? Right? So we have to make sure that before we ask AI to act like them, that you know who they are. If you don't, we have incredible training inside of our community. Our clients have access to help you be able to do this, right? So you ask AI, act like your ideal client, poke holes in your offer, list objections, suggest better positioning, or to map the client journey from never heard of you to raving fan, right? Or you can use it to spot these funnel leaks early. So you can have it review your funnel and identify friction points where leads go cold and prospects fall off. So, I mean, like literally what I will do right now with our coaching clients is I say, take a screenshot of your Facebook ads data, your meta ads data. Let's put it into AI with the following prompts. And we give it a prompt, and then it will spot funnel leaks for us. And so that's the type of stuff our clients get equipped to learn and apply inside their business. So it's like having a literal marketing director on your computer that you can send information to all the time. I love it, right? It's super exciting because it helps you be able to make changes a lot faster. So the goal here is not just to let AI kind of just run your marketing, right? But what you're using it as is a strategic partner so that you can see blind spots faster. And that's the key thing. I want everybody to key in on, if there was like a two-word phrase for you to remember for today, it's blind spots. AI helps you with your blind spots. And as a business owner, that was the biggest key for me, was I didn't know what I didn't know. Now, the biggest revelation for me was like working with Craig, right? So I became a coach at Early to Rise because I first started off as a coaching client. And so working as a coaching client, I was able to have somebody with outside eyes help me review my blind spots. AI can help you do that to a large extent, but you have to know what to feed it, right? And so having somebody, something to review your blind spots is absolutely essential. And I don't want you to miss that point, because that sometimes gets overlooked with all the sexy stuff on like, oh, we can create content, we can splice videos and this and that. Like being able to have it help you identify blind spots is essential, and is probably the biggest needle mover in my business, was having somebody to help identify my blind spots. Now let's talk about workflow number 4. Workflow number 4 is operations and delegation system. All right. So a lot of you right now are trapped because your business right now, it lives right here in the 6 inches between your ears. Your business lives inside your head. And your team is unable to take things off of your plate because there are no clear instructions. Now, who's willing to be brave and say that you've struggled with delegating because maybe you don't know how to tell people the right way? I'll be the first to admit it. Me. Type a me in the chat if you've ever struggled with delegating things because you couldn't give proper directions. So we got a lot of people like me. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, great. Yes, I'm right there with you. Okay. Now, awesome. And Fit Pro Mike says, lack of trust in people besides myself. LOL. Yes, I get that. So here's the great thing. Okay. Thank you all for your vulnerability and your honesty here. Here's how AI can help you. You're going to do a quick brain dump about how you do a task. Okay. Complete brain dump. I don't want you to think about the way that you're doing it. I just want you to just do a brain dump, right? You can do it. So I'll give you some specifics. So like a specific tool that we love to use inside of Early to Rise is Loom, Loom. Okay. Loom is a screen sharing tool. It's a plugin that fits on, goes on your browser. And anytime that we are explaining how to do a certain task, somebody will screen record. They'll walk through what they do in the task, and then they will send the link to the video. And so our chief of staff, Linda Riley, who many of you have had interactions with Linda, the amazing Linda, if she's teaching, telling the coaches, hey, I need you to do this thing, she will go through with Loom and she will record the steps, and it's a 2-minute video versus trying to think about how to type it all up, right? So for all the rest of you who may be like, you're not using Loom, or maybe it's more complex, involves other steps, don't worry about that. Do a brain dump. You can either type it up or you can speak into your phone. Just record a voice note. Then you can tell AI to turn that into a step-by-step SOP. Now you're going to hear me use the term SOP and you're like, what the heck's an SOP? Standard operating procedure, right? So step-by-step standard operating procedure, or a checklist that a virtual assistant or a team member can follow. Now, what's going to happen is over time, you are going to build a library of these SOPs, standard operating procedures. And now delegation becomes a ton easier, right? Because you've got the processes all listed out step by step using checklists. Onboarding of either new clients, onboarding of employees, it becomes faster. And you're no longer the single point of failure for every recurring task. The example that I give for this is, is how do you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Again, I'm going to go off script here, but this always helps my clients when I explain this. So I'm going to give you some additional coaching material today. Okay. So how do you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Right. So for me, I was like, oh, okay. To make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab bread. I'm going to take 2 slices. I'm going to grab peanut butter. I'm going to grab jelly. I'm going to take peanut butter, put it on one slice of bread, grab jelly, put it on another slice of bread, put them together. I got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Well, Mr. ADHD Galel, those are not proper instructions. See, the problem is I'm in the driveway. How am I going to make a PB&J in the driveway? Right? So what do we have to do first? You have to go into my house. You have to walk past the living room and go into the kitchen. When you're in the kitchen, you are going to see a row of cabinets. You're going to open up a cabinet and you're going to pull out the loaf of bread from the cabinet. You're going to open up the cabinet to the right. You're going to pull out the jar of peanut butter and jelly. You're going to turn around and grab the jar, open the refrigerator, grab the jar of jelly, place it down on the counter. Right? Do you see how just right there I've added multiple steps and layers to explaining things? And then we wonder as business owners, when I show you the contrast, right, of like the first way I explained it versus the second way, and then we think to ourselves, why is nobody understanding me when I'm trying to delegate stuff? Right? And the beautiful thing is AI will help you with this because AI is looking at your what? Your blind spots and helping you identify what areas you're missing as you're trying to get people to the end goal. All right. So that's my PB&J analogy whenever I talk to my coaching clients about how to delegate properly. Are we having fun yet, folks? Can I make AI like a little bit interesting? Hopefully people are tracking and we're following along here. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Blair. All right. So pillar 3, this is the like really fun stuff, right? This is where AI touches the money. Okay. It's super easy to play with AI in the abstract, right? Like talking about theories and hey, this is how let's look at like how AI connects directly to revenue, money being made. Okay. So AI can help you generate more qualified leads, help you follow up faster, help you close deals more consistently, help you deliver a better client experience, and keep people for longer, right? When you start plugging AI into these parts of your value chain, now it's not just a time saving tool, but what you're actually doing is you're increasing the amount of money each hour of your time, right? Like you're increasing the amount of money. It's powerful. So let's look at what that looks like here. Okay. These are 4 specific money moves to focus on in 2026. So again, take this information. And if you're like me, somebody makes a suggestion and I immediately become defensive and I go, well, you don't know my business, right? Look at this with an open mind and let's see how we can make some of this happen. All right. So, first, selling AI enhanced outcomes. So, I don't want you to market AI to your clients. Your clients don't care. I hate to be that direct, right? Your clients don't care about that. What they want though, and what you can actually market, faster turnaround, more personalized service, tighter follow-up, better results. What are some AI enhanced outcomes that you could offer? Could you create tools that allow you to deliver your service better leveraging AI? Is that a possibility? Something to consider, right? There's a lot of people where I will buy all kinds of stuff because I'm a funnel hacker, right? I like to look at funnels. I like to go into people's funnels, and I'm getting upsold different AI tools. Some of them are as simple as just a custom GPT that somebody creates and sells for an extra, $49, right? That is faster deliverability, right? It's more personalized service because the AI is now giving me answers specific to me and my needs, right? So that's the first thing, selling AI enhanced outcomes. Second is to audit your value chain. So I want you to look at lead generation. I want you to look at your sales process. I want you to look at fulfillment. I want you to look at client success, upsells, referrals, and ask one question about all this. Where is there friction, delay, or human error that AI could reduce this upcoming quarter? Think about that, right? Friction, delay, or human error that AI could reduce in any of those areas. I'll say them again for you, right? Lead generation, sales, fulfillment, client success, upsells, referrals. How could AI help you reduce friction or delay or human error this quarter on those? Those are some essential areas. Just think about it, right? If you were able to use AI to help you reduce delay or friction or human error with lead generation, for example, and you're able to generate more leads for less money, and that's powerful, right? So that's just that's just like the second money move that we've listed here. The third money move is to build your internal AI playbook. So every time that you create a prompt or a workflow that works for you, I want you to save it, name it, document how to use it. That becomes training for your team and part of your intellectual property. So, one of the things, again, I'm going to take a little sidebar. I'm going to be your coach for a second. One of the things that makes your company, and I don't know if anybody has the goal of selling their business, but my family's been involved in private equity, mergers and acquisitions. My father works for an investment bank, so I learn about all these deals on the back end, right? And the thing that usually makes a company so valuable is it's in their intellectual property. And so when I'm evaluating companies or I'm evaluating, potential deals, you better believe that looking at the intellectual property that a company has, that is going to raise its value. How is your company using AI? Do you not think that will be valuable for somebody to purchase your company someday if your goal is to have an exit? And I'm telling you, yes, it is, because these are the conversations that are happening with the hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of $1 million deals that are happening right now. They're looking at how are they utilizing AI? How are their teams using AI? What type of intellectual property do they have? All this stuff actually matters. So build that internal AI playbook, right? Document this stuff, and you're going to use this to train your team, and it becomes part of your IP or intellectual property. That is something that is sellable when you sell this company, if that's your goal. Fourth is to upskill your team. So, as an employer myself, we all, anybody here who's ever employed people knows that it's harder to replace people, right? Like you hire somebody and you want to try to, make it work with that person versus like, you want to obviously let go of a poorly performing employee, but like it's easier to help like upskill somebody than it is to like find a brand new person who can learn all the other processes just for this additional skill set. And so I think that you are going to be doing so much for your bottom line when you upskill your team leveraging AI. So a lot of people talk about, oh, people are going to be replaced. Look, people don't need to be replaced. What they need to do is to be trained to use AI for their top 3 tasks. Right? So I have on my team, I have an executive assistant, Irene, who's awesome. And with Irene over the last 2.5 years, I have taken the work that she does and I've been able to basically help her 3x her output with the same amount of time simply by teaching her how to leverage AI. We're building SOPs faster. There's less frustration on her end when I delegate a task in my ADHD manner. Now I have a way of brain dumping it, transcribing it, getting an SOP created so that Irene can execute faster. Right. And so she's leveraging these tools, and now she is so much more valuable to me. She was valuable before. Now she's even more valuable to me because she's leveraging AI properly for the things that she's doing. That is helping to multiply her output, and it doesn't burn her out. Because if anything, it's easier for her, and she's learned to have permission, right, to use AI properly. Right? It's not just about using it like Google, right? But how do you use it to build processes? And so these right here are the essential money moves here for 2026. Is this helpful? And I'm curious here, just to take a quick poll of the folks who are here before I go on, which one of these things are you looking at for 2026? It can be like one word. It's like building a playbook. Maybe it's improving, your AI enhanced outcomes. Maybe it's your value chain. Maybe it's helping out a team member. I'm really curious to know, where is it that you're leaning towards here going into 2026? Because the next thing we're going to cover is going to be a 30-day roadmap on how we're going to implement this. So great. We got Carl, value chain; Holly, outcomes; Blair, AI enhancement; Christian, build the playbook; Shirag says our EA starts 12:10. Perfect timing. So many great ideas now. Susie, internal playbook; Eric, sell AI, enhance outcome, build internal AI playbook. Mike says, for now, it's starting with my email marketing. Is that doable? Absolutely, it's doable. Absolutely, it's doable. Tracy, playbook, SOPs, estimates, content creation. Lorraine, sell outcomes. Gabor, outcomes. Outstanding. Outstanding. So good. So you're all tracking here as to how we're going to do this. Now, let's start. Now, I'm going to really coach you up here. Okay. And I'm going to get you to commit to some time frames here. All right. Because a good coach isn't just going to give you information. A good coach is going to make you do stuff, push you out of your comfort zone according to a timeline, right? And having time frames. So everything that we've talked about so far over the last 40 minutes or so can feel really big. So I want to shrink this down to a 30-day plan. All right. And Craig, do we have what time's our hard stop, Craig? I should have
We
known
don't we
this
don't
is
have a hard stop, but
okay.
whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll go another three
A
hour.
lot of people will be
Yeah.
leaving in 20 minutes because they got
Perfect.
other stuff.
Yep. So we're gonna land this plane here. So everything here can feel super big, right? So I want to shrink this down to a 30-day plan. So you're over the next month, your job is not to master AI, it's to help you get one or two wins in your business, okay? This roadmap is going to help walk you through these 4 simple weeks that we have coming up, okay? So week 1 is audit and awareness, right? You're going to track your time for 3 full days. You're going to highlight the repetitive rules-based tasks, and then you're going to prioritize your biggest time sink. So what I want you to do, audit your time, and every 15 minutes write down what you're doing. Okay? Once you have that list, you're going to circle the tasks that, like those 5 main tasks that drain you the most or slow the business down. Those are your first candidates for AI support. This step alone is going to change how you see your workload. All right? Now, week 2, you're going to build simple workflows. There's going to be 2 different workflows you build. Okay. One is a thinking assistant workflow, one is a content and communications workflow. That's it. Not 10, 2. Okay. Thinking assistant, hey, anytime I have a big decision or messy information, I'm going to feed it to AI using a standard prompt, get a 1-page decision brief. Content workflow. Every time I record a 5-minute video or a voice note, I use AI to turn it into an email, social caption, or a reel script. And you're going to use these every day for a week. And what you're going to do is you're going to tweak the prompts as you go. So they don't have to be perfect. They just need to work well enough so that you feel relief psychologically, right? Week 3, this is where you get your team involved. Okay. You can't build a life of freedom if you're the only person that knows how these workflows go. Okay. So pick one team member or a VA, sit with them, walk through the workflows that you built in week 2. Have them run the prompts, refine the language, document each step in a simple SOP, and let them take ownership of it. And then integrate it into your system, right? This is how you start taking the weight off of your shoulders. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So now week 4. Week 4 is where you are going to measure and you're going to decide what is next. So you're going to look at how many hours these workflows saved you. You're going to look at how much extra content you produced, how much faster you responded to leads, how much smoother your operations feel, and then you're going to choose your next focus. Do we use AI to improve lead generation, improve fulfillment, or follow up next? Like, pick one area, don't pick 3. Pick one area. And this right here is how you build an AI powered business step by step. So you're not supposed to be out there chasing every single shiny new tool, but what you're doing is you're strengthening one link in the chain at a time as you do this, focusing on one area. All right. So here is your 24-hour challenge. Okay. Because information without action, it is just another distraction. So for the next 24 hours, I want you to build and use one tiny AI workflow that saves you at least 30 minutes a day. It could be decision making brief, content repurposing workflow, a simple SOP builder. Doesn't have to be fancy, just have to be able to use it one time in real life on a real task. And once you feel that win, your resistance to using AI is going to drop. You're going to stop saying, "Oh, I should learn how to use AI." And you're going to start saying, "This is just how I operate now." So I know we're going to have some questions here. Craig, I want you, do you want me to take some questions or hand it over
Yeah.
to you? Yeah, take some questions here. Perfect. We'll take questions for a couple minutes here and see what how we can apply this into your business. So, first off, was this helpful for everybody here in the chat? Like, was this helpful? Craig is going to talk to you here in just a second, but if this was helpful, please let me know because I'm always looking at how we can continually improve these trainings and get you guys great value. So, if you have a question, please unmute yourself and jump on in, and I would love to help. Great. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you. Craig, do you have any questions?
Walk me through what you tend to walk me through a case study of what you've done with somebody where you've uploaded their Facebook data and you found holes in their funnel.
Yeah. So basically, one of the things, I'm going to keep this anonymous for the client, but there was a client who was spending six figures a month on Facebook. And I wanted to validate my thoughts and also make sure that I wasn't looking at the situation incorrectly. So I had the thought that we were not testing enough variables for not enough variety on the front end for ads, and that was the reason why we were getting the results we were getting with Facebook ads. So I took the data from Facebook, we uploaded it into there, and I said, "You are a world class marketing director. You're going to analyze this data. Your output is going to explain what your conclusions are based on this data and provide three clear action steps to take in order to remedy this problem." And so it verified that yes, the creative had reached fatigue because that's what I had figured was creative fatigue. And it then asked for, so it said creative fatigue, needed to try more variables, and it gave suggestions on how to split up the ads as far as testing goes. And so then from there, I said, it said, if you would like to upload your ad so that we can examine further, I can give you other suggestions on new ad creatives to test out. And I said, sure, we'll do that. So we took the ad, we uploaded it in there, and it gave us multiple variations for us to test out with that client. So that's one example, Craig, that we took a client having trouble with their Facebook ads. It gave us actionable data. It verified what we were concerned about, and it gave actual suggestions and improvements to actually implement into their Facebook ads.
Very cool.
Question here. AI is a general term. Are there suggestions for definitive places or programs to go in order to do this? Yeah. So, I mean, you can start with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is kind of where most people start when it comes to AI stuff. When it comes to writing content, any type of writing, I tend to like Claude, Claude. Claude is what I prefer for writing. I like that language style better than ChatGPT. Which specific AI systems or apps do you recommend that we use to implement your advice today? ChatGPT. Start there with ChatGPT. That will be sufficient enough to help you with SOPs and be able to guide you right there. Is starting with ChatGPT would be perfect to start with. Brian, go ahead, sir.
So I use pretty much exclusively ChatGPT, and if you've already covered this, I apologize. I was a little late jumping on the call. You're talking about setting up workflows. I use, I drew a blank, portfolios inside ChatGPT for all my stuff, but I use pretty much one for almost everything with the business. So, what is your recommendation for implementing this in Chat GPT?
Yeah, so great question, Brian. And it's going to be very, like, the answer for yours is going to be very specific, a little bit lengthier for the amount of time we have here. But what I'll tell you from
Sure.
a general area is that your Chat GPT needs to know about your business. It needs to be educated. So, in its knowledge, it needs to know who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and how you do it, right? It needs to know your brand voice, it needs to know the phrases that you say and don't say, right? And so I have taught an AI model to sound like Craig Ballantyne. How did I do that? Well, Craig has given me a wealth of data to be able to do that, right? He's written 4 books.
Yeah.
He's got tons of YouTube videos. He's got all this content, right? That I can use to teach it to write in a certain way. And so for you, Brian, in your business, it's going to be very essential that we nail down exactly what it is that is expected. And then from there, it's teaching it repeatable processes to spit out each time that something happens. So if A, then B, then C, then D. And that is stuff that you can teach your AI platform to be able to do. ChatGPT will be able to do that.
Okay. Awesome.
Great question. Let's
Thank you.
see. Let's see what other questions we have here. Let's see. Abacus, love it. Costs as same cost as ChatGPT. Uses all current LLMs on the market. Awesome. Great. Best video creating tool. Well, Carl, it will depend on what type of videos you want to make. So if you can help me understand what you're trying to create, I may be able to suggest something there.
Sure. Uh,
Yeah,
do you mind? Yeah. Hey, number one, thank you so much. Amazing
absolutely.
value. Amazing value. I'm thinking of two potential means by which to use a AI generated video. A is you know, I'm in publishing and we create book trailers. You know,
Hmm.
30 seconds, maximum 60 seconds. It's a dramatic a presentation of the book, the why, and what problem it solves, etc. Number one. Number two, I'm toying around with using AI to create videos which will promote the services that we offer.
Okay. Yeah.
No more than about a minute.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's what I will tell you. And again, I'm just playing, understand my from my seat, I'm a business coach,
Mhm.
right? So as a business coach, I'm gonna advise you, Carl, don't worry about that. Hire somebody on Fiverr, pay them $50, and they'll make something way better than you could with the time it'll take for you to work with AI. If
Right.
if video is a part of every single day and it was a type of thing where you had an assistant and that's like something you're trying to crank out a bunch of content, I would
Yep.
say do that. To answer your question, right?
Mhm.
HeyGen is like one that we use for, realistic avatars.
Mhm.
You can use I'm trying to think what else. Sora 2 is one that you could create stuff with. Artlist.io is another one. But again, these are tools that like creators are going to be using. And so if I'm doing it, Carl, I just hire somebody on Fiverr. So
Got it.
I know it's
Thank
probably not the answer you're looking for, but that's the way
No,
that
no,
I
it's
think would
helpful.
be
It's
would be
helpful.
best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yep. You're very welcome. All right. Can you create an SOP showing a video of the action to the AI? So Shannon, if I understand your question, can I take a video and turn that into an SOP?
Yep, like
And
if you wanted to do the peanut butter
Mhm.
sandwich thing. Could
Yep.
you videotape yourself coming in from the driveway and doing all that?
So you would need to transcribe it.
Okay.
Right. So what I do is I record stuff and then I turn it into a transcription. With that transcription, it takes out and extracts the steps into that.
Okay, so you talk yourself through it. It's
Yep.
not going to just look at you and figure out what to do.
No, like right now, like there are some advanced models that can like interpret video. But ChatGPT is not going to do that right now because you're going to have file limits. And so the easiest way is just pull out your phone, talk to your phone, get it transcribed, upload it in there. One of the things I will do often is I will take an image. And so like I'll take like a carousel that Craig has written, and I will upload the 11 image or 10 images, because it's a 10 image max, into Chat GPT or Claude or whatever tool I'm using, and say, hey, help create a caption in Craig Ballantyne's voice, because my AI knows Craig's voice versus my voice, in Craig Ballantyne's voice, to comment on, like, to create a caption for this. And so it'll analyze the images and then give me a caption, and then I go in and make tweaks and adjustments to it. That's
Thank
another
you.
thing. Always adjust what AI gives you as far as social media content, because it's not going to be perfect. So I'm always taking what I create with AI and then adding my own stuff into there.
Can I interject too really quickly on the
Sure.
other question? There's one app out there, or one website that's Open Art AI,
Mhm.
and that one it combines all of the other services that are out there, like the ones you were mentioning. You can have access to all of them and draw on their strengths, including things like Nana Banana and
Yep.
ChatGPT. And
Yep.
then the other one that's not in there right now but is amazing is Higginsfield Popcorn, and that
Mhm.
will do things like it'll take your product and make it look like it was photographed professionally. It'll
Yep.
even put it on models for you.
Love that. Yeah,
It's amazing, isn't it?
I absolutely love it. And the thing, again, I'm talking as a business coach, the thing I have to caution everybody about is that, like, I love tools, I love fancy stuff, I love all this stuff, and I can get drawn into a rabbit hole of using all of them. I want to know as little as possible. Right. Like, we were recently talking in our coaching WhatsApp group. Somebody had brought up ClickFunnels versus Go High Level. And I said, I purposely did not learn Go High Level, so I didn't do any of the tech stuff, because if I knew how to do the tech stuff, I would actually do it. My best money is made in coaching people one on one. That's where the money is made, right? And in selling my coaching. If I learn these tools, it's a distraction from the thing I want to do. So I'm teaching my team how to execute this, right?
Yep.
Craig, we got 5 minutes. Tracy jumped in right in there. I'm going to go to Tracy and then over to you. All right, Craig. So Tracy, yes,
Hi, just a quick one. This is brilliant. Thanks again, as
you're very
always.
welcome.
I use ChatGPT quite a bit in the last like 2, 3 months. It's just rocketed. I advise everybody to take your sort of thoughts and say, just dive in and try it and play
Yes.
around with it. It's actually mind blowing. But as you say, it's amplifying intelligence. It's not artificial intelligence. You have to. It's like garbage in, garbage out, right? So you
Oh,
have to give it the
absolutely.
stuff, and you have
Yes.
to check what it's saying. But I did an interesting thing with it last week. I actually sorry about this, Craig, but I said, pretend you're Craig Ballantyne. And with all the awesome knowledge that you have out there, help me sort of give myself a daily read and flywheel, essentially, to create a golden hour program for the next year to become a retail authority using LinkedIn, because that's my sort of probably hottest lead, the one sort of like system that I'm using to generate leads with most effectively. But it just basically, I've been working with, and I still am. I've got a daily read, and then I've got a system worked out from Monday to Sunday, what I should be doing in my golden hour each morning to be building that retail authority, which is my goal for the end of 2026. And I use ChatGPT to come up with that system, and obviously building on all the stuff that I've learned through you guys. But it's really interesting, and I would encourage everybody, don't be afraid of it. Just literally go have a play on ChatGPT for free to try it out and see what
Yeah.
it does. But it's amazing how quickly you will understand how you're going to work with it. It'll just resonate with you.
Love it. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing that. That's absolutely huge.
Fantastic. Awesome. Really, really appreciate that. Galel, anything else you want to add before we?
No, if anybody has questions, which I'm sure there will be, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Amazing to see the attendance on here today. So, Galel, if you just want to go to the next slide there. Um, Galel's client is Bob Ferguson. And I mentioned Bob Ferguson yesterday if you're on the training session. Bob has hit he's actually at 9.9 million in 2025. And he loves Galel like a brother because Galel has been coaching him since he was at 2.5 million. So that's amazing. And then if you just keep going on, Mary Therese gets a little bit of help from Galel, and then onward to the next one. We just want to help you understand that this type of specific coaching can be yours you can get Galel working with you to implement AI into your business in 2026, along with the rest of our coaching team. We have multiple levels of our coaching program. We have live events. Galel will be teaching at our next live event in January in Scottsdale on January 8th and 9th. I'm super excited for that one. It's almost sold out. And if you want Galel on your team, if you want me on your team, if you want our coaching team on your team, then what we need to have you do is go and scan this QR code to book your free call with our team. You'll speak with Paul, our VP of Partnerships, and he'll tell you about the various coaching levels that we have. Tracy has been a longtime client. As she says, life-changing working with these guys. And she worked with Coach Gavin, who's not here, but you have access to his Millionaire Mindset training. And Brian is one of our coaching clients. And so this is going to be absolutely amazing to have you as one of our next success stories in 2026. So I urge you, we don't have a lot of spots, so please scan that QR code. Galal, do you have the link to drop in to the chat?
I do.
Yeah, if you
Yes.
can drop
Yeah.
in the link in case anybody wants to click on the link in
Yeah,
the chat,
absolutely.
then they'll be able to go and book the call as well. In case you don't have your phone handy because you were super focused and that's the way we wanted it. So thank you, Chirag. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tyrone. The recordings of these will be sent out very, very soon. Blair, same, we will send the recordings out there. Galel has dropped the chat in there, and make sure that you jump on having a call with our team. And we look forward to working with you and having you as our next superstar success story in 2026. All right, so that's it for today. In 2 days from now, we're going to skip tomorrow, but we're going to be back on Thursday. I'm going to take you through the vision planning session and goal setting session for 2026, unlike any other planning and goal setting session you'll find anywhere. So make sure you join us there, and we look forward to chatting with you very, very soon. All right, everybody, have a great day, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.